that capture the essence of Christmas and the holidays, to rediscover for ourselves the simple joys of the season, from familiar songs to favorite recipes, to open the hearts with simple acts of kindness, especially to those going through hard times, and to strengthen the bonds with family and friends, as well as with our faith and our...
So we've clearly given the Department of Energy a lot of work to do. Congress has spoken clearly over the last 2 years. Between the Energy Act, the Bipartisan Infrastructure Bill, and the Inflation Reduction Act.
It looks like economists have released a big warning to Americans. The recession is pushing more people, including families and retirees, into poverty. And now Kevin McCarthy has announced that he doesn't even support the new bill that Democrats have proposed because President Biden may take executive action this time. A group of conservatives in the House are pushing for a vote on a bill that would eliminate the Fed, income taxes, and the IRS. But some influential Republicans are pushing back against what appears to be a failure for the GOP. The bill, known as the Fair Tax Act, would actually scrap all individual and corporate income taxes while imposing a 30% national sales tax on goods and services to be collected at the state level. And it would eliminate the need for the IRS, everybody. So this could be a good thing or a bad thing depending on how you see it. But I personally believe it would be a good thing because in the deal with Kevin McCarthy for his House leadership, the conservatives reportedly want a commitment to bring a tax bill to the floor for a vote. However, the bill has virtually no chance of becoming law, and meanwhile provided Joe Biden and Democrats with new ammunition in their effort to paint Republicans as extremists. Chuck Schumer said that the Republican tax plan will raise the cost of buying a house to $125,000. Also, it would raise the cost of buying a car by $10,000. It would raise the average grocery bill by $3,500. And at a time when people are already worried about the high price of groceries, it looks like things are going bad. Schumer failed to note that the bill would also eliminate income and other taxes, but his remarks highlight the difficulty Republicans face if they push ahead with the bill. Analysis of similar tax plans showed that a national sales tax would be aggressive, raising taxes on the poor, reducing taxes on the rich, and other things like that. But several Republican leaders have already come out against the bill. Even McCarthy said that he earlier doesn't even oppose it. It would allow that it will come up for consideration. It makes the committee process more difficult. House Majority Leader Steve Scalise has also said he doesn't support the bill, preferring instead to make the tax cuts included in the tax law of 2017 permanent. And one representative, a relatively moderate Republican from Nebraska, told reporters that he is also opposed to the bill. More than a dozen states are continuing to send out checks to millions of people, hoping to provide some extra relief in cash to consumers, as inflation drives up prices on everyday items. Many states are able to send these checks because of excess revenue. Many of the payments are officially called tax rebate checks. Last fall, California began issuing the middle-class tax refund, one-time payments designed to ease the bite of inflation. And as of January, more than 16 million direct deposits and debit cards were issued. But as many as 1 million people, eligible residents, have yet to receive the check. Happy Tuesday, everybody, and hope everyone's having a great day so far. So in this video, let's go over the latest news surrounding a fourth stimulus check and a $200 increase in your Social Security benefits. By the way, everybody, if you believe that the Social Security benefits must be increased by $200 a month, then let's get this video to 1,000 likes. I personally believe that our politicians in Congress must do a better job in helping out the American people. The great American people still need help, and they need help now. And if you guys agree with my message, then let's get this video to 1,000 likes. And before we get started, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and share this video with your friends and family. Because remember folks, the whole goal of this channel is to provide you with the most up-to-paying Alabama residents. But applications for new guaranteed income programs in Massachusetts, for example, opened, with selected participants receiving monthly payments of up to $500. So folks, it's great to see that Joe Biden is actually doing something to help the American people, which since mid-2022, politicians have warned Americans and a growing number of tax people to be exact about this. And the IRS has said that it wants to hire new employees using funds from the $80 billion allocated to the Inflation Reduction Act. But according to several experts, the IRS does not plan to use all of that funding for hiring purposes alone. As the New York Times pointed out, the IRS total number of full-time employees is 20% fewer than what the agency had in 2010. even though the population has grown. To bolster its numbers, the agency plans to hire using a lot of money, with roughly $7,200 of those being hiring enforcement staff. This would add to the 5,000 phone personnel the agency hired before the 2023 tax season began. Increased funding to the agency would help it more experienced auditors who can handle complicated tax filings. It could help the agency close the annual gap between what is owed and what is collected. The agency has said that it wants to help taxpayers get the deductions and tax credits they deserve. Right now, the focus is on providing eligible and educational materials that break down deductions in plain language. So hopefully people can get their stimulus cash. Folks, we have a lot of news about the fourth stimulus check, Social Security benefits, SSI, and SDI. Continue watching this video because you don't want to miss out on this. For the vast majority of Social Security beneficiaries, their monthly check is vital to their financial well-being. After 20 years of annual polling, it is found that no less than 80% of retirees rely on their Social Security benefit in some capacity to meet their monthly expenses. But with the U.S. debt limit and ceiling deadline looming, more than 66 million beneficiaries are wondering whether the Social Security checks will be on the shopping block. The debt ceiling represents the authorized borrowing limit for the federal government. It's important to keep in mind that it doesn't include borrowing for new spending or projects. Rather, it's to cover the federal debt limit and existing financial obligations. At no point in America's history has the federal government defaulted on its legal financial obligations, which is why the current debt limit impasse between Democrats and Republicans on Capitol Hill was turning heads. The expectation prior to this week is that Treasury lawmakers had perhaps 2 or 3 months. In that time, there were significant decreases in child poverty and food scarcity. Government data showed upticks in spending on necessities like clothing, utilities, and much more. Republicans in Congress and Joe Manchin have let it expire, everybody, according to Republicans. This year, the credit reverts to its pre-2021 structure, a non-refundable credit worth of $2,000 per child, ages 16 and under, that is. The Guardians received that when they file a tax return next year, but the expanded child tax credit payments have been paused, even though they help many families stay afloat as inflation skyrocketed. Reports have found that millions of children have fallen back into poverty. States have stepped in to make up some of the difference, and Vermont joins 9 other states in offering a state-level child tax credit, in addition to California, Colorado, Idaho, and New Mexico, and some other states. Additionally, North Carolina offers a child deduction rather than a credit, and Michigan's state legislature has passed a credit worth $500 for most children, though it is not law yet. Connecticut is offering a one-time tax rebate worth of $250 per child, capped at $750 for 3 children. Families need to apply to receive it, and the size of the credit and eligibility requirements vary greatly by state. Vermont's $1,000 payment, for example, is reserved for children 5 and under and families earning $125,000 or less. In Massachusetts, existing tax deductions for dependents were converted into two refundable credits. These state tax credits are worth between $180 to $240 per child under 12 for up to 2 children in all families. In some states, the credit is non-refundable, which means it can reduce someone's tax liability as low as $0. Taxpayers must file a tax return to receive